Although we mostly talk about altcoins on this channel, every once in a while we gotta take a look at the big boys. Why? Because they are leading the market, whatever you think about it, whether you like it or not. So we're gonna take a look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, because those are the big boys that are dictating the destiny of every other coin that we are covering on this channel. So let me give you a daily update on King of Crypto, Bitcoin, and the Prince of Crypto, Ethereum, the unofficial ruler of altcoins. And last but not the least, we're gonna take a look at that sentiment to see how people feel about current market developments, because never neglect a human emotion in decision making. But first, let's roar. If you want to become a member of our crypto pack and be regularly updated on our future videos, subscribe to the channel. There is a red button below this video. Why? Well, it's completely free. You got nothing to lose but much to gain. And if you don't want things to be completely free, in the description I will leave you links on which you can send your crypto to support this channel and to feed this hungry dinosaur. When and if you do that, if you think that others should know about it, leave me an address in the comments and I will give you a shout out in the next video. Now to the top coins overview. As you can see, we are mainly in the green, and consequently to our video, Bitcoin and Ethereum are moving the most. Bitcoin 5%, Ethereum 3%, and even their little brother Litecoin more than 4%. So slowly we are going up. Please let me note you that Bitcoin is among the biggest movers and shakers, even though it moved only 5% to the upside. What can that signal us? Well, for one thing, that altcoins are not doing so much at these times, and that Bitcoin is possibly regaining its dominance. You will not see this picture very often when Bitcoin is among the biggest movers with only 5%. But now let's head to our fear and greed index. We haven't looked a while on this crypto sentiment analysis. We are right on this whole number, 70. Greed is in the house, but that is due to Bitcoin's price surge in the last few days. I would say pretty expected. Last week we were at 61, also greed, but last month we were fearful at 43. And you can see that things can change pretty fast in the people's emotions and thoughts about cryptos. Let's take a look what's happening in the charts, because there we'll get a far clearer picture than this. If you want to know more about this crypto fear and greed index, check out one of my videos when I talk in details about it and how you can invest and trade based on it. For now, let's just update you what is happening in the space, people emotions. This is a 1 year time span of people emotions, and as you can see, we are now at the 70, yesterday 61, and just a few days ago at 73, at 76. Well, that is already an extreme greed territory. Practically we cannot decide, are we greedish, are we neutral? The sentiment is not pretty clear. But what is clear, that the last time we did this update, we were around this knot, and that was the time that we said that we are back in our box. This is the box I'm talking about. This is the neutral zone where a lot of indecision is amongst the people. We had a clear breakout from this box, and now we are flirting with these levels of extreme greed. one thing you have to notice, if we make another box all the way to last year, notice that there wasn't any action in these areas. This was our practically bear market. We only came into this box when the Bitcoin broke its trend line that was resisting it for a very long time, all the way from $20,000. So in bear market, we are never getting in this zone of extreme greed or even greed. And this could be our first indication for the future, let's say. The bull market has started, because there could never be an extreme greed in the bear market. When you see signs like this, be ready for the old crypto market to go to the upside. Now, currently, I really do not have any doubts that we will go back into this extreme greed and greed box. We have some resistance at this point, but in time we will break it. At the moment, some downside targets are a possibility, but as the bull market progresses, so will we be in this greed territory much more. And how are things on the Bitcoin's price? For that, we will go on a daily chart, since this is a daily update of Bitcoin versus US dollar. Let's go. This is the price action for the last few months, all the way to May, that you are seeing on the screen. It looks pretty sideways, don't it? First thing that is coming to my mind when I see this chart is this trend line. And there's a pretty significant line. It was once a huge resistance for Bitcoin at around $12,000. Now that we broke it, we are at 13,725. I suppose if we decide the Bitcoin's price action go to the downside at some point, I'm not saying now, but it is probable at $14,000 to once more retest these levels. What was one time broken, it's not always that it has to be retested, but there is a fair possibility that it will be. And after that, who knows? Maybe we are heading to that infamous $20,000 all-time high. Now let's talk in a moving averages language. Just as a side note, every time frame has its moving average that respects the most. On a daily time frame, that is 100-day moving average. And as you can see, what you see on the screen, it has never been disrespected, let's say. And this is, for me at least, one of bull market indicators also. When the price is above 100-day moving average, we're looking good. We are going in the right direction. So all these area when Bitcoin slammed from 12,000 to 10,000 and something, there was no reason to panic. Yes, we had a few dips and hover around 100-day moving average, but generally we held it pretty well. You really can't expect a better support moving average than this, because things will not be perfect, just like, let's say, this time. It's not a perfect touch, but I will count that as a touch, because it came real close. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no perfection in technical analysis. Always consider your support and resistance zones as areas, not a straight line. So, since we held it as support, a pretty logical thing happened. We headed in the direction of the trend to the upside. So, I don't think that this could be anything of a surprise to you. It really isn't to me. But let's not waste all the time on Bitcoin. Let's talk about our prince, Ethereum. What's happening on that chart? This is Ethereum versus dollar. When Ethereum had a similar situation and around $250 level, this horizontal resistance and the break, you see what happened. We broke to the upside. But for now, it didn't retested it. Does it have to be tested? as we said no, maybe we will never test this level. And for now, this is the level of $335 that Ethereum is respecting. Let's keep it this way, huh? What are moving averages telling us? Well, I like to say this. 100-day Ethereum's moving average is telling the same story as Bitcoin's. It is well respected. So, for now, nothing to fear about. Whatever you think about Ethereum's past and future action, it is respecting its level of support, of dynamic support. So as long as we have this type of price behavior and we do not see the break of the 100-day Ethereum's moving average, boys, we're good. Now why don't we combine those two charts and put Ethereum against Bitcoin? Yes, let's head to the ETH BTC chart. So, daily chart of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I got a few things to show you. First, this is a little different picture than versus USD, both Bitcoin and Ethereum. For one thing, I see a pattern that Ethereum has developed versus Bitcoin. That is a falling wedge. And as you can see, it's forming for quite some time. This is August, if I drew it correctly. And just by looking at this falling wedge, you can see that there is more space to the downside versus Bitcoin. But on the contrary, the pattern itself is bullish. Falling wedges are bullish patterns. I think there are different variations of this falling wedge that we can draw, but let's not overcomplicate things for now. And based on this, I'm telling you, we could go down in the short term, but in the long term or mid-term, if this bullish pattern plays out, we will go to the upside. Why I put volume out? Because you can see that since the peak, pattern has not played itself. The biggest volume is here when we reach the peak, but you will also see a big volume when we break out of this pattern. For now, that is not the case. Pretty equally similar. So pattern is still playing out. Okay, now as always, what are moving average telling us? And here you can see a different picture, as I said, that we were seeing versus dollar. It's fairly obvious that Ethereum couldn't hold this support and broke to the downside. So more bearishness you can expect versus Bitcoin. Where is our target? How about 200 days moving average? But in all fairness, that is not so far. We are almost at that level. Since Ethereum never respected this, it did respect it for some time, but it couldn't hold. My assumption is it will hold the 200-day moving average. But one more thing, this is a 50-day moving average, and as you can see, we just had a bearish cross. So in the short term, even middle term, I don't think Ethereum will outperform Bitcoin. Let's leave it on this. Anything can happen, but let's not make things overcomplicated. And then it's fairness. I will ask you that if you liked the video, let me know. But also, if you didn't like the video, check out one of these that I'm pointing at you right now. You could be finding some real value in this. See ya!